My next guest is joining us on what I think is going to be a very tenuous link from Gaza. Nader Abdel Wahed immigrated to Albania in 2016. He went back to Gaza and he has found himself trapped in the country following the outbreak of war there. He has not been repatriated, although he says some other Palestinians who also have Albanian residents have been brought back to the country. He's facing a lot of issues there at the moment, but I also wanted to find out what the situation is like on the ground for him there. I hope we can connect. Good afternoon, Nahed.
Highness.
Now, from what I understand, you are a permanent resident in Albania, but you're currently in Gaza. Now, how did you arrive in Albania and then go back to Gaza? Can you explain the situation a bit for me?
Yes, you are right. This is true that I hold the Albanian permanent residence permit, and I got it last year in July 2023, and I first came to Albania in 2016. It was a short visit coming from Slovenia, where I was studying my master's degree in intercultural business communication. During this visit, I decided to leave Slovenia and to stay in Albania permanently because I love the country, the people, and the culture of Albania. I used to visit my family during these years from time to time. And unfortunately, the war has started shortly after I arrived Gaza to see my family.
In this context, what has your communication with the Albanian authorities been? I mean, do they intend to get you out? Have they replied? What is going to be your next step?
I have, at the first time I have contacted the Albanian embassy in Cairo, asking them to protect me and my family by evacuating me from Gaza to Egypt. This is happening through a special request to the Egyptian government through the Albanian embassy in Cairo. They promised me, and especially that I have explained to them that I have the right to be protected according to the Albanian law of foreigners and the international human law. After 3 months of waiting, unfortunately, Albanian's government have rejected my application to be evacuated with my family, and they told me that this is because of the Israeli security concerns. And it was a shocking answer from the Albanian government, especially that I have no problem with Israeli government, neither with any other government in the world. Still, I don't know, or I don't understand how me and my family, my kids, my mother, she's 83 years old, and I have a small kid. She's 3 years old, and my son, he's 15 years old. My daughter is 17 years, and other sons is 19 years, and my wife. How can we treat Israel or Albania? I don't understand this. We are simple civilians and very neutral family. And if Albanian government intended not to help me in this case, I believe that I have to take the next step and the next actions, which is going to the United Nations special procedures with a complaint against the Albanian government.
Are you aware of anyone else that's in a similar situation from Albania? I mentioned in the intro that perhaps there were some other cases. Is there anyone there with you now who's experiencing this problem?
And the Albanian embassy in Cairo have evacuated a number of Palestinians 1 month after the war, and they haven't, or they don't hold the Albanian residence permit. They just evacuated them because they have relatives in Albania. Unfortunately, Albanian government has broke the Albanian law and the international law in my case, and I don't know why. And their response, as I told you, was shocking for me. So once again, I'm asking the Albanian government to evacuate me with my family according to the law, and to protect me through this action.
Now, I have to ask, where exactly are you now, and what is the day-to-day situation there? I mean, what does a typical day look like for you?
Now we are in Rafah city at the south of Gaza Strip. Originally, I'm from Gaza city at the middle of Gaza Strip. And at the start of the war, the Israeli occupation forces forced us to leave Gaza under the strikes of the weapons to Khan Yunis city. And then they have forced us to leave Khan Yunis and to go to Rafah on the borders with Egypt. And we have nothing to do in this because we all the time under the strikes of the Israeli tanks and airplanes and bombarding. Here in Rafah, there is no medicine. It's very hard to reach good food, very hard to reach water. And it's really a very miserable and a very catastrophe for the whole Palestinian people from Gaza who are living in Rafah. So once again, I'm appealing Albanian government to protect us from these conditions, especially that we, the civilian people who are under the threats of the war here.
I mean, what are your fears for the future? I mean, do you have any indication of what's going to happen on the ground there? What are people saying? What are you expecting?
People now are speechless. They can't say anything. They are disappointed. They are frustrated, exhausted, and they completely tired and exhausted. And there is no hope at all. And the people who are of Palestine here in Gaza and in Rafah mainly, and in general in Gaza, they are saying why we are the world deal with us in this way. If this is kind of revenge from innocent people and from civilian people, the Israeli government and Israeli occupation forces has destroyed everything here in Gaza Strip. We have no past, we have no future, we have no recent. We just facing the death from these weapons, and we still don't understand why they are doing that with us. So if you are asking me about the futures, we have no futures future at all. If they allow us to come back to Gaza, there is no infrastructure. There is no water at all. There is no schools. There is no universities. There is no mosque or churches. And it seems that they will not allow us to come back. And it's impossible to stay in Rafah forever. Imagine that more than 1 million Palestinians, 1,300,000 Palestinians, they are living in a very small area. And most of them in the camps, in small tents. Regarding your question about the indications, what will happen in the ground? All the time, the Israeli security and the Israeli army and the Israeli government is threatening us that we will come to Rafah. And the whole war warning from this because it will be a huge massacre. Now they have killed more than 30,000 people in Gaza. What does this mean? They want to kill another 30,000 people in Rafah, for example? And for which reason? All of this. Because they want to fight Hamas. We are civilian. We are not Hamas.
Now, I was reading a report yesterday. Israel says there is no way to eliminate Hamas without destroying Rafah. Now, is this the reality? I mean, there is a huge debate at the moment. It's been going on since October last year. Israel saying, our only chance to destroy Hamas is by sort of bombing everything possible because they're so ingrained in every part of Palestine. Is this true? Are Hamas among you? Are they as entrenched as Israel says? What is the reality in your view?
Look, Alice, it's complicated here. We are, as I told you, we are simple civilian people. We can't be an observer of the military actions by Israelis, and because simply they can kill anyone and they can say that we killed him because he's Hamas. And unfortunately, when they want to kill someone, they kill him with his family, with his kids, with his mom, with his brothers. They kill the whole families for unknown reasons. So it's complicated here, and we don't know what is the reality, honestly, because we are in a very unfocused situation, and we don't know what exactly is happening. And I don't want to talk about politics or military actions here, but I want to confirm only one thing, that the Palestinian peoples here in Rafah and in Gaza Strips, they are under continuous attacks by Israel's military forces, and we are very simple civilian people. That's it.